Globally, October has been set aside for cybersecurity awareness to increase collective action against cyber attacks, described as a threat to digital transformation and the 21st century technological revolution. A recent report by Cybersecurity Ventures revealed that cybercrime is projected to cost the global economy over $10.5 trillion in 2025, a staggering rise from $3 trillion just a few years ago. This underscores the need for robust measures in countries like Nigeria, which informed the 2024 edition of the Cybersecurity Conference, organized by the Central Securities Clearance Systems PLC, in collaboration with the Office of the National Security Advisor. The meeting focused on cybersecurity, synergizing AI and infrastructure. In his opening remarks, the chairman of the CSCS board, Mr. Temi Popola, said a holistic approach to cybersecurity is required, one that demands leadership from the very top.
AI's predictive capabilities and lightning-fast response times are transforming how we safeguard our digital assets. However, in the wrong hands, these can pose a lot of dangers. The duality of the opportunity and the threats defines the challenge that we face and emphasizes why our collective presence here is so important. The statistics are sobering. Cybersecurity Ventures projects that the global cost of cybercrime will surge to a staggering $10.5 trillion annually. $10.5 trillion annually by 2025. Now, these are not just numbers. They comprise everything from stolen intellectual property, personal data, and disruptions to critical services that impact millions of lives. However, technology is not enough. We need a holistic approach to cybersecurity, one that demands leadership from the very top. Boards and management teams must prioritize cybersecurity, embedding it within every aspect of organizational strategy. And at CSCS, we treat cybersecurity not just as an IT issue, but as a board-level priority that informs every decision that we make.
Dr. Imimotimi Agama, the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, described the conference in his address and believed it would increase awareness of cybersecurity.
We are committed to ensuring that the capital markets are protected by robust cybersecurity frameworks and balance innovation with accountability. While AI offers great promise, it must be complemented by resilient infrastructure. Without a secure and adaptable digital infrastructure, even the most sophisticated AI systems can become vulnerable to cyber attacks. Where digital infrastructure is still developing, security must be integrated at every layer, from communication networks to data center. For us, the CSCS, as of today, is the Capital Markets World Bank. And you know what it means to attack the World Bank. We cannot afford that to happen. Hence, it is important that as we commit to working with governments, bodies, and industry players to strengthen the cybersecurity infrastructure of the capital markets, ensuring that they are equipped to withstand emerging threats. As we deliberate today on the intersection of AI and infrastructure security, I urge us all to recognize that cybersecurity is not merely a technological issue. It is a strategic imperative. It requires collaboration, innovation, and continuous improvement in our defenses. We are dedicated to playing our parts in creating a secure, resilient digital environment that fosters economic growth and safeguard the integrity of our financial markets.
The head International Cooperation, Directorate of Cybersecurity, Office of the National Security Advisor, Mr. Saad Abubakar, called for the whole of government approach in curbing cyber threats in the country.
In an era where digital threats are evolving at unprecedented pace, fortifying our critical infrastructure is not just a priority, it is a necessity. Our reliance on interconnected systems has indeed made us more susceptible to cyber threat. But what's even more alarming is the cyber attacks are now supercharged by artificial intelligence. You don't need to know any coding. You don't need to know any technology. All you need is to have access. The recent approval and the gazetting of the designation and protection of critical information infrastructure, the Executive Order 2024, underscore the government commitment to safeguard our digital economy. This directive not only mandate the protection of essential systems, but also foster collaboration between public and private sectors to build resilience against cyber risks, one of which collaboration and coordination. And this conference is one of the stages for that.
In his address, Vice President Kashim Shettima, GCON, emphasized the critical role robust cybersecurity measures can play in an era of digital transformation.
I want to emphasize the critical role that robust cybersecurity plays in safeguarding our national economy. In an era where digital transformation is reshaping industries and infrastructure, the necessity of protecting our systems from increasingly sophisticated cyber threats has never been more urgent. Cybersecurity is not just a technical issue, it is a fundamental pillar of our economic stability and growth.
Mr. Bashir Mohammed Shuaibu, Special Assistant to the President on ICT and Digital Skills, stressed that cybersecurity must be embedded at every stage of artificial intelligence-driven infrastructure in the country.
As AI becomes the backbone of modern infrastructure, its security must be paramount. Whether it is safeguarding AI-driven transportation networks, preventing malicious attacks, or protecting the vast amount of data that AI generates, cybersecurity must be embedded at every stage of AI-driven infrastructure development. AI, like a bread knife, can be a tool of convenience or destruction. On one hand, it enhances our capacity to detect and mitigate cyber threats, allowing us to predict and prevent attacks with unparalleled accuracy. On the other hand, bad actors are leveraging AI to launch increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks, probing for weaknesses in our digital system. The solution lies in building a robust, secure foundation for AI, ensuring that our critical infrastructure is not only intelligent, but also resilient, adaptable, and protected by advanced security measures.
The MD CEO of CSCS PLC, Mr. Haruna Jallo Waziri, in his remarks said the conference underscored the urgent need for robust cybersecurity measures.
Today, we focus on a central theme: cybersecurity, synergizing AI, which is a buzzword. Everywhere you go now, people are talking about AI. We must harness the potential of AI while remaining vigilant against its threats. It's on your phone, it's on your computer, it's everywhere. I'm sure you use Meta AI on your WhatsApp. You have Gemini, Google. The commonest people use is ChatGPT. You have Microsoft Pilots. I mean, there's so many, and there are many add-ons to it. It makes life easier, it's automated, but it comes with its own risk, which is why we're here today. As we explore these themes, let us not forget the intrinsic value of human intelligence. Again, let me reiterate this. Let us not forget the intrinsic value of human intelligence, because the more I delve into artificial intelligence, the more I appreciate our own capacity for judgment, creativity, and empathy.
It featured a fireside chat on the state of cybersecurity in Nigeria and several breakout sessions on topics relevant to the digital technology ecosystem. Mr. Temi Popola, Mr. Ahmed Saad Abubakar, Mr. Haruna Jallo Waziri, Mr. Ibukun Adebayo, and Dr. Aisha Ali Gumbi speak on the theme and how Nigeria can reposition itself in the age of digital transformation, balancing innovation with security.
One has to look at this from three perspectives. One is that increasingly there is a lot of regulation in cybersecurity. As you've listened to a lot of the remarks, whether from the DG of the SEC, from the Office of the National Security Advisor, increasingly there's a lot of talk and emphasis on regulation, particularly for what you would consider key, infrastructures across the country. So naturally, that's a first reason to pay a lot more focus and emphasis on cybersecurity. Number two, any sustainable, responsible business, any business trying to run a sustainable operation, the reality is, as the world continues to go digital, and as we continue to do business, online, on mobile devices, electronically, then we face this risk that we need to manage, where there always are rogue actors, and generally speaking, things can actually even go wrong naturally. So from a risk management perspective, it's important to focus on that. And then thirdly, I would say that as with any situation where you have threats, they also pose opportunities, right? And I see that this challenges around cybersecurity, again, for any business in this modern economy, there could be opportunities there as to how you run a business sustainably. And I think these three things will drive this increasing focus on cybersecurity.
Cybercrime investigation is very huge. Now coming, the artificial intelligence is a different ballgame now. That part of the things that are challenging for that, but the continuous training for law enforcement to understand that. Then going further, the National Cybersecurity Coordination Center is also responsible for training of not only the law enforcement. It's also has provided the training institute where every practitioner of cybersecurity will apply and then come for training within that institute, so that we can build a robust cybersecurity ecosystem with real capacity that can help us develop protection plans and also help us to match the gap that has been there within the cybersecurity ecosystem.
AI is everywhere, on your phone, on your computer, in your car. Even in your cameras now, they have AI that adjusts lights and focuses and all of that make it very easy for you to do it. Now, with that comes, surrendering certain things that we do, and also, understanding that there's significant automation, and also comes the threat of, what I call cyber crimes or threat actors. So the idea is, we are a market infrastructure. AI has come, we're using some of the tools in our offices, and also we're seeing people that are connecting to us do the same thing. How do we bring to them, to everyone in the community, the issue of cybersecurity to become a hot topic for them to discuss? Because whether we like it or not, it's a hot topic on every board as you automate, and we think that bringing it as a discussion point here within this ecosystem, it should generate that conversation so that we all protect ourselves.
It's absolutely essential, because the financial infrastructure beneath markets like Nigeria's, in particular CSCS, which is systemic in terms of ensuring that trades and transactions are completed, is unquestionably very, very important. So in that basis, every single country internationally spends a lot of time and a lot of money in terms of ensuring resilience within their financial market infrastructure, particularly on the clearing and settlement side. So it's imperative. These are the pipeworks of equity markets, derivatives markets, and all other types of financial asset classes. So it's imperative to have fail-safes, contingencies, and resilience built into the market infrastructure.
There are various ways they can curb cyber attacks. First of all, they have to try and prevent it by having preventive technologies, things like firewall. Then they can, if it does come in, they have to have a way to detect it. So they have some detective tools that they can use. And then when even if they have detected, they have to have a way to respond to it. But in general, very simple things we can do. Things like ensuring you're not using outdated components on your systems. You're using everything that it's patched up to date. Your staff, you do two-factor authentication, things like that. Strong passwords, security awareness. Even just simple measures like that, if you don't go too techie, can help you curb this cybersecurity attacks.
We are really at the area where security and innovation have to intersect, but we definitely don't want that to trump the other. Now, if we put things or we work on things very well, we can actually take advantage of the innovation to even improve our security. But notwithstanding, have our eye on the challenges that the innovation would bring, right? So in my presentation, for instance, I talked about how we could leverage AI for threat prevention and detection, how we could leverage AI for prediction of threats, how we could leverage AI for even adaptation of threats, and how it can help us optimize our processes to make it efficient and scalable, and how it can help us to reduce costs. But at the same time, we have to identify that when we use these technologies may not necessarily be secure themselves. So their software, they may have vulnerability. What are we doing in dealing with those vulnerability? How are we sure that the model that we're using is not is a model that is not vulnerable, right? Do we do constant, checks on the vulnerability of that software? So that's one. Secondly, as we think about AI, particularly, right, AI deals with training large pool of data so we can identify patterns. Now, the training itself, if we don't train very well, or we train with bad data, or even attackers manipulate the data, we're going to end up with a bad model. So how are we ensuring that we're really training with good data? So, it's very important that we don't just adopt technology, but we adopt technology with, a lot of sense and understanding the challenges that will bring.
The emergence of new technologies with artificial intelligence has transformed the industries in the country, with a unified approach from regulators, policymakers to experts. Nigeria must strengthen its cybersecurity framework with a robust infrastructure that enables the digital transition that translates to inclusive growth.